Standing proud in the centre of Scotland's largest city lies its beating heart, Glasgow's Central Station. In normal times, our busiest railway station serves as a vibrant hub. This year, things have been a little different. But throughout it, the staff at Central have kept us all moving, getting us where we need to go. On inside Central Station, the countdown to Christmas has begun.
Ho, ho, ho.
As staff triumph over adversity.
2 metres, 2 metres.
I think the biggest challenge at the station is the safety of people that come through the station.
Determined to keep the spirit of the season alive.
Look, a light up.
Do you think Jesus will be happy in there?
I think he will be, yeah. That looks great.
I think it'd be really nice if people look up at the tree and say, wow.
This is Glasgow. We'll get through it.
As we draw to the end of a year like no other, Central's 454 staff members can reflect on this period of time with pride.
Sure, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
2020 has changed dramatically from how we would normally operate day to day and week to week.
Almost overnight, this bustling station went from welcoming 130,000 passengers through its doors every day to just a handful.
Those initial weeks and months at the beginning of lockdown were quite spooky. You know, it was eerily quiet. Sometimes there was more pigeons than there was customers in the place.
I've been in the rail near 30 years, and I've never known even Central to be really quiet.
The station is usually absolutely heaving with people. So then to come in and see it completely dead, it was a big shock to the system.
But despite the huge challenges, the station has remained open throughout, like a fourth emergency service, keeping the country moving at this crucial time.
We have to make sure that the country doesn't go to a standstill.
The rail industry was called upon to come and assist, and they have really done it.
And certainly for our frontline staff who have been here day in and day out, you know, working down on the concourse, there's a pride in it.
I would say we rose to the challenge, and as a station, honestly, we've managed to get there.
You just need to go on with it. That's it. Take a day at a time. Just say, look, get your spirits up. It's not going to last forever.
And as the station staff, along with the rest of the country, persevere in our new normal,
One down, the rest to go.
there's no getting away from the latest addition to the concourse. Some are making a statement,
But they'll recognise me because I kind of jazz things up. That's it. I kind of stand out like a mile, but hey-ho.
and some have had a festive makeover. But there's nothing new in this. Back in 1941, we were also asked to wear masks.
The Ministry of Health wants us all to wear germ masks to prevent colds and flu from spreading, particularly in the shelters. Although the masks are intended for a serious purpose, there's no reason on earth for them to be unattractive. Oh, to hell with the germs.
And it's not the first time that Central has been at the heart of a pandemic. In 1918, a lethal influenza epidemic spread across Europe and became known as the Spanish flu. At the time, Glasgow was a thriving international port. Its docks made the city prosperous, but at a price.
The first recorded cases of the Spanish flu in the UK came from Glasgow, through the ports. The river was a major part of the city, and with so many people using the river and coming through the ports, this disease had like an ideal environment to spread.
Glasgow Central is just yards from the river. The port was the flu's gateway to the UK, but its railway station was how it spread.
From the docks, people would take usually a train to get back to their rural areas or to their other major cities. So just like today, Glasgow city central was really, really busy. So that unfortunately contributed to the spread of the disease.
But in an effort to boost morale in a country recovering from war, the rapid rise of infections wasn't widely reported.
It was only Spain that was actively reporting the spread of the disease and the epidemic. So it became known as the Spanish flu.
The Spanish flu went on to claim an estimated 50 million lives worldwide and over 200,000 in the UK.
After some time, the virus changed, mutated, and it lost some strength. And eventually, life went back to normal.
Over 100 years on, and we're all hoping that our lives will return to normal soon. But for now, station staff work hard to keep us moving and safe. Overseeing this work is Kat, who took on the role of General Manager for ScotRail in 2018.
It's such an iconic station. I like history, so it was a great opportunity when the job came up and I went for it.
Her responsibilities have expanded over the past 9 months as the station adapts to the ever-changing COVID protocols.
I'm going to go and do a check on just the station standards and a check on the COVID signage, the information, that there's no any damage or replacements needed.
Fellow station newbie John is just starting his 9-hour shift.
So today I'm mobile, going about all the platforms, selling tickets.
And enjoying a bit of banter.
There he is, early for his work for a change. I try and bring a bit of laughter to their day, make sure they're in a good mood as they're leaving the trains. I'll get you there, I'll get you home, and that's your receipt there, pal. Hey, thank you, no bother, mate. I'm a people's person. I like getting in amongst the people, talking to the people. Oh, you got it right, outstanding. Saves me for thinking this time in the morning anyway.
This would normally be the busiest time of the year, with up to 160,000 people coming through the station on any given day.
Usually the footfall right now is pretty demanding, you know, because people are coming into the city centre to buy their Christmas presents.
It's a tradition that's been going on since John was a boy.
I used to love it, coming in with my mother and father, especially when they were spending money on me for Christmas. So it makes me kind of feel proud to be here, you know, and to be working with a part of what I've grew up with.
But there's something looming which might ruin John's festive cheer. It's now 11 a.m. and Kat and the rest of the country are eagerly awaiting some important news.
We've been waiting about whether we'll go to Tier 4, which is similar to a lockdown. Again, it's what we saw earlier on through COVID, so we'll see what the announcement is and let the staff know about it.
The prospect of lockdown 2 looming is the talk of the station.
I think Glasgow's a dead cert that they'll go into lockdown.
Hopefully she stays at Tier 3. I couldn't take it another lockdown. I don't think there's many people who could take another lockdown.
Everyone's speculating, but whilst they await the announcement, there's plenty of work to do.
We are considered key workers because we are here to ensure people can get where they need to be, but in particular our frontline staff working down on the concourse, our frontline teams and the NHS staff, to me, that you know, have been the heroes throughout COVID.
One vital group of frontline staff in Central Station is Davy and his hard-working team of cleaners.
We've got roughly about 30 members of staff, and basically anywhere in the station we see, we clean.
With over 14,000 square metres of floor space to clean, an area double the size of Hampden Park, it's a monumental task.
And especially as business as usual, if there's 120,000 people a day going through, it's difficult to clean up after them. But we do it, and we do it well. We're here to keep everybody safe, and we've had very little people getting the virus in the station. So I think that shows that our cleaning regime works.
But as well as cleaning, Davy's team are this station's eyes and ears.
It's part of our job is to walk up and down platforms lifting litter. So you're looking to see if there's anything that looks out of place. Oh, just see. That's your bag, sir. Yeah, you can't walk away and leave it, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Every day's different. Every minute's different. There's always something going on. We rely on the other staff to let us know about spillages, bottles of wine being dropped, people crying next to their bottle of wine.
Across the concourse, Manager Kat is on tenterhooks.
I'm just checking just now, it's the live briefing by the First Minister.
To level 4 are the City of Glasgow, Renfrewshire, East Renfrewshire, Eastern Bartonshire, Western Bartonshire, North Lanarkshire, South Lanarkshire, East Ayrshire, South Ayrshire, Stirling and West Lothian.
11th of December.
So it doesn't give you much time to get any more Christmas presents now?
No, and these are the things that we'll probably watch for within the station from now until Friday. Will we see an upsurge in passengers? You'll know that yourself working in the...
More likely.
For the next 3 days, the station is likely to be very busy. And after that, deathly quiet. Having been open for over 140 years, Central Station has an incredible amount of history under its roof. Glasgow Central's historian, Paul, has been curating the famous station tours for the past 8 years.
I came down these stairs about 7, 8 years ago, started talking, and I've never stopped since. I would have maybe 80 people a day on the tours, every single day, and the interaction with people was absolutely fantastic. And I never thought it would be as successful as it's become.
But when the coronavirus hit, all of Paul's tours had to be cancelled.
I then looked personally to try and do what I could do to help.
He's now found himself back in the comms office overlooking the station, in a role he last performed 13 years ago.
Base, go ahead. It came back to me right away, thankfully. It's good to be able to help, it's good to contribute.
Paul has moved from telling tales of the past to needing to know what's happening in the future.
Every single train that comes in and out of Glasgow Central has a thing called a head code on it to tell us exactly what service that is. It's like a fingerprint. This is a live system here, which means I can see all the trains and their exact times, as I say, where they are. So I'm actually just following the timetable down right now, and I'm checking to see the trains are in their proper position. It becomes a wee bit more tricky on that if there is any disruption. If there's a train failure or if we're short of a driver, then things become a wee bit more complicated.
And it just has, as the team are informed of an incident on one of their lines.
This is when it gets busy. There has been a person struck by a train, and that's why my board has went red here. A lot of the services are backed up behind that.
With the train immobile, whilst the emergency services deal with the situation, it means delays in the station are inevitable.
This is probably the worst time for any delays. Things are going to be a bit hectic now.
Managing the situation is Customer Services Assistant Nicole.
We've pretty much been at a standstill since about 5:30. So, as you can see, the station is very packed at the moment. The COVID-19 situation is not helpful, especially with social distancing at the moment. It poses a big problem for us.
And up in comms, Paul's discovering the fallout of this incident.
There is now 7 or 8 services sitting. That's causing a huge amount of problems for the corresponding trains to depart the station. And because this is live, we can identify the services that are delayed. We don't want reds, we want greens, and we want whites.
There is a passenger arrestment due to a person being struck by a train. Services to and from Glasgow Central are subject to delay or possible cancellation. We apologise.
Right now, the 1749 Lars service is showing a 26-minute delay. The 1800 Air is showing 15, as is the 1804 Air showing a 15-minute delay, and that's all because of this incident. Hopefully we'll get an update for the signalling centre on this shortly, and we can pass that information on to the public and to the railway staff on the platforms.
As it's dealt with the emergency services, we hear back every 15 to 20 minutes. So we don't want anybody stuck here too long. So hopefully they get on their way shortly.
Base, go ahead.
Thankfully, good news arrives, as the stationary train involved in the incident is now on the move.
Everything's getting back to normal.
That must be it up and running again, so that's really good. Hopefully, no more hassle for the rest of the night. Just goes to show what one train can make a difference.
Lovely shade of green here on both the screens. Thankfully, now that the disruption is over today, we got some good news. And the good news is that the person that was struck by the train thankfully survived. So that's a good result all round.
It's coming to the end of a long day. But with the level 4 restrictions imminent, the station must prepare for the busy days ahead.
That's the station closed for tonight, 20 to 1 in the morning. So, station's been open since 4 o'clock this morning, and that's it, just closing now.
But rather than shutting down, the station is about to come back to life.
As much as we're doing extra stuff because of COVID, we still have the daily clean to do, just to make the station presentable for the public coming in.
364 days a year, Davy's team clean this concourse, getting through a staggering 80 mop heads per month, which are then cleaned and reused.
This is where it gets technical.
Working just as hard is their new sanitising mist machine, which gets through litres of spray every day.
How long have you been with us now, Gary?
2 years, April the 1st.
Oh, no saying a word. I think it's a different atmosphere at night. There's a serenity to it. It's good to be able to go on with your job.
In our war against COVID, Davy's army of cleaners have a vital job to do.
Before all this, I was rightly proud of our staff because I thought we'd done a great job in the station. And I would say that I'm even more proud now because they just love trying to keep the places clean and it's safe for everybody to use. And they've not been clapped yet, but that's the only thing. The nurses get clapped, but the cleaners didn't. Well, no, the station cleaners.
Tonight, they've done it. And by 6 a.m, the station is clean and ready for an important commute to begin. As this morning, key worker Christine is headed to the blood donor centre she manages.
I go to Glasgow Central daily. Because I come from a small village, I couldn't have made it to work without the train service and without the wonderful people that work there.
At the blood transfusion centre, just 5 minutes walk from the station, Christine's first donor is Leanne.
You make a fist for me? A wee sting. If you want to look away, now's the time to do it. All right?
Leanne has recovered from coronavirus, and as a result, her blood can be used for a very special purpose.
So now, in the fight against COVID, convalescent plasma plays a big part. They will take the antibodies from your blood and they will boost them and use them as a treatment against the fight against COVID. We need donors that have had COVID and have recovered because your donation is essential. It's essential to all the lives in Scotland.
And there are others like Christine, for whom the trains have been a vital lifeline.
I'm a pharmacist. I locum, so I travel about to different pharmacies. Quite a lot of the time I work in Central Station, and the pharmacies have been pretty busy during this COVID period, especially with the GP surgeries being closed. We've had a bigger influx of people coming in for minor illnesses and major illnesses.
Getting key workers like Hamad and Christine to and from work allows vital services to continue. And in the station, staff like customer service assistant Josie hope to add a smile to their commute.
Usually the station's just full of Christmas shoppers. It will be quieter, but we'll do our best to make sure that people remember Christmas in Glasgow Central Station. I will definitely be making more of an effort, I think, this year. Just spread some Christmas cheer. Not Christmas COVID, Christmas cheer.
Josie and colleague Kirstine have already been giving their booth a festive facelift.
Kirstine is definitely in charge of Christmifying the information desk. She is obsessed with Christmas.
Morning. These light up Josie and Kirsty. I've got my cane. I've actually got my reindeer socks on as well.
And if that wasn't enough, Josie's taking her decorating to a crafty new level.
I've been making little ScotRail trains. I'll be turning some of them into Christmas decorations and putting them on the tree. Just as long as it looks like a ScotRail train, that's all I'm asking for. Got 5 completed. What I need to do now is put the wee sort of hooks on and then attach ribbon, and then I can hang them on the tree. You don't want people coming in here and seeing everybody looking crabbit. With Christmas this year, extra cheer definitely needed. I think not just for passengers, but for staff too.
Overseeing the many changes in the station this year is station manager Drew, who's been in the role for almost a year.
It has its moments, some good parts, some bad parts, some good. I'm still learning. I'm on a learning curve, put it that way.
And that curve turned into a hairpin bend when the pandemic hit in spring.
Oh, Chris, so bad. We had to operate as normal, try and treat every day as normal as we possibly can.
Which means Christmas is definitely not cancelled at Central this year.
The full Christmas tree and the decorations will be up in the roof rafters, which will create a festive spirit in the station. And it just gives everybody a wee bit of Christmas cheer.
And for Colette and Lee over in the travel shop, the festivities have already begun, as this year they've decided to run a charity raffle for the station staff.
All this stuff is being donated by travel shop staff, so what we're doing is we're going to raffle this stuff off just for a good cause. So we're doing Cash for Kids this year. There'll be a lot of kids out there that they might struggle this year, so we thought it's just a nice way just to give something back. So everybody's pulling together just to try and make as much money as possible for this really good cause.
They're hoping to reach a target of £500, and with some top-notch donations,
Prosecco, chocolate, soap, bath bomb, Jack Daniels, umbrella, Glasgow Central tour, headphones, more chocolates. There's no diets this year, so.
hamper tickets are flying out the window.
Well, it's a fiver for 3 strips, so 6 strips.
It's about £200 so far, so we've virtually just started it the last couple of days.
Just another £300 to go if they're going to make their target.
That's a nice hamper for somebody.
It's 6 p.m. and the level 4 restrictions have just come into effect. Last-minute Christmas shoppers are now making their way home.
I got Christmas presents for family, mum, dad, sister. Don't want to tell anyone in case you wanted to see it before Christmas Day.
Yeah, what did I get? I got some earrings, that's about it, to be honest. What else?
You got a water bottle?
Oh, I got a water bottle.
Just a wee treat for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, last day of shopping and everything, so.
There is happy, smiley faces still going about. Generally, people will just want to get their presents in the city centre, back out again, and back up to their homes again.
But for shop workers, it's an uncertain start to their season as they close their doors for at least 3 weeks.
It's quite sad, to be honest. This is like usually our best time of year for us, so we don't really know how we feel. It's a funny time, like we're used to being worked off our feet, and it's just not going to be like that this year.
We are hoping to obviously open back up on the 11th of December, so fingers crossed. We just got to see how things go.
And for the station, one final surge of shoppers.
Definitely seems now that a lot of people are starting to head home
And quite rightly so, because we've just gone into lockdown.
Just head home now and that's it.
I know, nowhere's open anymore.
I know.
It had got a lot busier at about 6 o'clock, and now not a lot of people. I think it's just the kind of dregs of coming back from their shopping last minute.
That's me, back up the road again. Looking forward to a cup of coffee, put my feet up, maybe get a kebab, just to round it off.
It may be lockdown, but it's as crucial as ever that the trains run smoothly. Repairs on the tracks must happen in the dead of night and be completed before the first train departs at 4 a.m. Every train that comes in or out of Central Station runs over a tangle of lines known as the jungle.
You can see why they call this bit the jungle, due to the amount of rails that there are in here.
It's 2 a.m. Supervisor John and his welding team have just 2 hours to repair a vital part of the track called a crossing nose.
You'll notice that there's a gap through here where it's worn down, and this will cause extra wear, and it will also cause a rough ride for the train. So we've marked it there where it requires the welding.
Arc welding the tracks may look pretty cool.
An old colleague described it to me as lightning because of the sound that you get from it, and the brightness is the same, basically the electrical that you get from lightning.
But it's not without risks.
You have to wear safety glasses around arc welding due to arc eye. I had it once myself years ago and never again. It's due to the UV rays that you get off of the welding. It actually tears the retina in your eye, so it feels like there's hot sand being rubbed into your eye. The pain was considerable.
With the clock ticking down, the team are quick to move on to the next stage in the repair.
Weld does leave a rough finish, so what they do is they use the angle grinder to take that down and leave a nice smooth polish.
Then they test the metal with developer spray, which turns white if there are no defects on the track.
What you can see there is it's all white. That is all good, which is to be expected from a welder of John's calibre. John, is it beautiful?
Lovely. It's looking smashing. It's really welded up.
He's done a good job. That'll be good for another few years yet.
They complete their welding with 40 minutes to spare. And with the track safe and smooth, the morning's passengers won't be in for a bumpy ride. As the countdown to Christmas continues, the station's hard-working elves, maintenance duo Stevie and Chris, are off to their workshop with a plan to make this year's Christmas decorations better than ever.
The plan is for today, we're going to decorate the crib. It's plywood. They didn't really have plywood back in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. So Chris, our resident painter, came up with some ideas, and then we're going to glue some straw onto the roof, just so it looks a wee bit authentic.
Stephen loves this time of year. He loves getting the tree and he loves getting the station ready for Christmas time. It's very important to him. So Stephen came up with the idea of changing the plywood that we used for the stable, and he thought we'd try and make it more to a wooden effect so we could try and update it. Because you see people going by and looking at it and get some photographs next to it. So it's a very important part of the station.
So to turn the plywood into something closer to biblical times, Chris has used a few 21st century techniques.
What we done was applied a render onto here, and we gave it a kind of grain effect look. We're putting a glaze over the top here, and then we'll highlight the knots and the kind of slats of the wood to make into a stable.
Chris, that looks fabulous.
Stephen, I must admit, I expected you to say that.
Did you?
Well, to be quite honest, Stephen, I think when you're a master like me, you expect master work, don't you? Yes. Would you agree with that?
Yep.
Do you think Jesus will be happy in there?
I think he will be, yeah. That looks great. Well done.
OK. Thanks, Stephen.
Just a few finishing touches to go, and then the stable and its occupants can go on display.
Once we get the hay, we'll put that on top, and then we'll get Jesus and the wise men and his mother and everybody in there. We get all our fencing out, everything ready for the nativity. I think it'll look fantastic.
Central has long been a place of shelter for those without a roof over their heads. But since lockdown, the staff have seen increasing numbers of homeless people drawn to the area. Meeting outside Central Station this morning are support workers Paul and Robert.
Well, both of us work for Simon Community Scotland, supporting vulnerable rough sleepers and try to find a more permanent place to live.
It's also about linking them in with mental health services, addiction services. Then we can link them in with our hub as well, who will support them with their benefit claims and things like that.
It's a vital lifeline for those they help, aided by their strong relationship to Central Station.
We've just opened a new hub down in Argyll Street, and a Network Rail had a big part to play in that, where they provided a lot of the basic labour and stuff to get the new hub up and running. We'll give sleeping bags into Central Station and they'll give them out to people.
And this support allows Paul and Robert to assist many of Glasgow's homeless population.
See, when we get back today, we're going to stock up in like hats and gloves and that. We'll get you a wee hat, 'cause it's freezing to be sitting about, man. There's plenty to do. There's loads of, we get loads of positive outcomes every day. It's really rewarding.
I can do in here quite often. You see we're all right, you know what I mean?
And plans are in place to ensure that on Christmas Day, everyone gets a hot dinner inside the station itself.
So we'll just try and get anybody that's available, any service users that want to go along for a bit of Christmas lunch.
In the coming weeks, Paul and Robert will be handing out vouchers for the meal, which is being provided by the Sikh community. Over at the station, Network Rail's diversity manager Naseem and fellow Sikh and Network Rail employee Amrik are meeting to work out where to hold the Christmas dinner.
We're at Central today looking at the space that the station has suggested for us for the local community to serve a meal on Christmas Day for the homeless people.
So we'll involve up to 75 homeless people coming in and getting access to a free meal.
This generous gesture of helping those in need is deep-rooted in the Sikh religion. And the station shift manager Ross has a spot in mind for this event.
It would literally be coming in Hope Street, again it would be marshalled, coming in and just directing people up the stairs.
We can talk about how we want to arrange tables
and
how we kind of mark out social distancing and so much. So I can see it's really working out well in terms of the layout that we're thinking.
I thought the meeting went really well. And I think during just our walk tour, as it were, we decided then and there that we'll be using Unit 17, which we think is more accessible, more homely, and more meets our needs, I think.
And thank you to the community, because we couldn't do it without you. We're just hosting. You are doing all the hard work. Thank you.
Location sorted, Amrit can now focus on the food, with a trial cook planned later this week. With 2.2 square miles of space, Central Station is Scotland's largest train station. Its vast glass roof is one of the largest in the world, and under it, many momentous events have occurred. Over 100 years ago, from these platforms, soldiers bid farewell to loved ones as the country mobilised for war. And out on the concourse lies a fascinating memorial to these times. A 15-inch howitzer shell, which was hollowed out in 1917, allowing it to serve a far more peaceful purpose. Tour guide Jackie is responsible for keeping the history of the station and its treasures alive.
It was set up as a charity box, and that was for the Ladies Auxiliary Association. It's getting quite worn now, but it's been here since just at the end of World War I. The new plaque tells you that all donations go to Glasgow Children's Hospital Charity Trust. So it's for the children of Glasgow, which actually kind of think of a better cause, can you? For many years, the shell sat in right in the centre of the concourse of Central Station. It became part of the fabric of the station.
But over the years, the shell has been relocated multiple times, lately residing next to the Gordon Street exit. This summer, Jackie and the team took advantage of the unusually empty station to move the shell back to the heart of the concourse. And there's hope the shell's new location might revive an old tradition.
When I was doing the tours, one of the things I always said when I started doing the tours was, maybe you met the love of your life under the clock. And I was very quickly reprimanded and corrected. Oh no, hen, it's the shell.
Lynn Chambers is one of the people whose love story started beside the shell.
It was in 1965 and I had a rendezvous with somebody I really wasn't very keen on at the Shell in Glasgow Central Station, swithered about going, so much so I was an hour late when I arrived. No sign of the man I was supposed to meet, when this chap came up to me and said, I was here to meet some people who haven't turned up. Why don't we go for a drink and try and make the best of the evening? We've been married for 53 years, so probably altogether 55 years since that fateful night at the Shell. And this was more or less how he looked when I met him. And this is the way I looked. And then I wondered fast forward to today. The Shell does hold a special place in my heart because it's part and parcel of the meeting with David. To see it come out of the shadows back where it should be is quite emotional.
And there's more to the story of this much-loved icon.
Through social media, I was contacted by a young lady who said her granny used to ask about the Shell and used to sing her a wee song about the Shell. Meet me at the Shell. Once I had got the words, it was Drew that came up with the idea to actually create a vinyl on the floor with the words of the song. We were thinking about moving the Shell and our timing was just perfect. Maybe it was just meant to be because everything seemed to come together.
Carla's grandmother, Isabel, once a regular visitor to Central Station, hasn't been back in years. Today, she's made a special trip to see the Shell back in its rightful place.
Look at that. Oh, lovely. You see what it says? Oh, that's beautiful. One Christmas, we were having dinner and we'd given you Prosecco and not wine. And Gran, the bubbles went to her head and burst into song, and it was Meet Me at the Shell. It's just a wee piece of oral history, you know, it really is, isn't it, Gran? It's like Glasgow dialect just passed on.
Jackie's heard that Carla and grandmother Isabel are at the station and is keen to meet them.
I don't know the tune. I am dying to hear the tune that goes along with the words. I recognise your picture from social media, and you must be Granny Isabel.
I'm me.
Oh, hello
That's
there.
me.
Welcome to Central Station and welcome to the Shell.
So remember you wrote me out the words, I gave that to Jackie and that's how she got it on the floor.
Oh, aye.
This is how she wrote the words and I typed it out.
It's not a hard song to learn. So, because there's no very many words I need you to sing me because I know the words but I don't know the tune. Aye, no problem.
Meet
me at the Shell, meet me there yourself. I'll tell you a tale of a wee Glasgow belle at the Central by the Shell. I'll take you out to a picture show. I'll hold your hand and I'll no let go if you meet me at the Shell in the Central by the Shell. I'm all filling up. Listen, I can't thank you enough.
No,
It's absolutely brilliant.
Can you believe it? It means so much to us though, doesn't it, as a family?
The family. But I think it means a lot to a lot of people. I just hope that when we do go back to normality, I really hope that lots of people will come and they'll get a lovely, pleasant surprise when they see that the Shell's back in the centre of the concourse.
It's 9 p.m. and a quiet Central Station is preparing for a special arrival. Its majestic 20-foot Christmas tree. Usually built when the station is closed, this year, thanks to lockdown too, James and his specialist team can start early. But that doesn't mean their tinsel won't get in a tangle.
The main difference this year is normally there's a team of 6 of us. Obviously with COVID, there's only 4 of us this year. Fewer people, so potentially could take a bit longer. A little bit more pressure, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
Even with fewer hands, they must finish soon after the station reopens at 4 a.m. There's no time for error. And the first challenge is the tree's tricky placement.
So the centre of the tree's up there, then you can get the star on it. They hang the star from the girder, so we've got to make sure the centre of the tree is in line with the centre of the girder.
Once positioned, it's on to the meticulous task of arranging its 160 branches, which need assembled from top to bottom in a precise order.
All the branches are colour-coded white, yellow, so this is the top of the tree. So you've got a corresponding socket for it to fit in. The branches get a bit squashed, so we make them look alive, bushy, after their year of hibernation. Oh, you'll be doing that all night, mate, with these bits of tree.
Oh, you'll be doing that.
And if you thought untangling your fairy lights this year was tough,
on the tree already, we've got 2,000 lights, and we're about to put another 1,000 on, so it'll have 3,000 lights. You're probably looking at in excess of 1,000 baubles.
with the clock ticking, eagle-eyed James has spotted a gap in the decorations.
We've got a bit of a bare thing round that side. We'll get the machine round and we'll go up, and it might just be a case of lifting some of the strings of lights just up a branch just to fill the gap. A little bit OCD, I guess. I don't like gaps.
With just over an hour left, some final flourishes. And the team finish ahead of schedule. But what's a Christmas tree without its star? That's yet to come.
Really pleased with the tree this year. I think it'd just be really nice if people, when they come in to get off the train or come into the station, actually look up at the tree and just say, wow.
But deep below this festive concourse lurk the ghosts of Christmas past. Paul cannot resist a visit to his old haunts.
You know, if these walls could talk, the different things that have happened.
He has his own experience of the spectres that prowl below the platforms.
A couple of years ago now, I was doing a tour down here, and quite an unusual thing happened. I was actually standing on these stairs, and at the end of the tour, I asked everybody that was on the tour to come together so we could get a good selfie photograph to put on the website. Now, I took the photograph, and you see all the people who are on the tour wearing their high-vis vests and their safety hats. But if you look across to the left-hand side in the photograph, where the hole in the wall is there is a figure leaning against the wall, halfway through the wall by the looks of it, and he's not wearing a high-vis vest or a safety hat. A figure with a bald head looks as if he's emerging into that wall there. I can't explain it. It's one of those things in Central Station again, unexplainable. I don't know what it was or who he was. Was he a ghost? We'll never know.
Upstairs, two wise men have their own star to follow, as Stevie and fellow maintenance man Kevin have a very important job.
The reindeer are not socially distant.
Because they're about to add some Christmas sparkle. First giant snowflakes, which they'll hang from the girders around the station.
Right, we're ready? What way? Yeah, I've got it. Got it. Whoa.
Snowflakes safely hung, it's the turn of the ultimate tree topper. For the right effect, Kevin and Stevie must suspend the star directly above the tree.
fiddly. That's all right, isn't it? We're happy that's the tree finished.
Good job. That's looking nice.
And the next morning, it looks like their monumental efforts have been worth it.
It's looking amazing. Just see the lights on and the snowflakes lit up. Just puts you in the Christmas mood now. Drew and his team have done a great job.
Christmas for me in Glasgow Central Station starts once the big tree is up.
Yeah, the tree in Central Station always looks good. Every year the guys put on a great show in here, so yeah, really impressive.
I think the Christmas tree in Central Station is quite a big thing for the city. I think people, when they see it, say, yeah, it's beginning to look a wee bit like Christmas.
And at the foot of that majestic tree, a revamped stable.
Yeah, there's loads of hay, John.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Well, it's looking great. Every day's a different day, eh? Well, Christmas has got a lot of meanings. It's my birthday and Christmas Day as well. I was born on the same day as Jesus, so he'll be nice and warm this Christmas as well, and hopefully he'll enjoy his new home.
Yeah, that's us finished now. And I think the crib looks great.
The manger where Mary and Joseph are looks nice this year. Looks realistic.
It just feels warm, Christmassy, and I think it puts people in a better mood.
We're in Central to pick up our son Tom, who's returning from London, where he's at School of Music.
It's probably the longest I've actually been away from home, so yeah, I'm excited to be back and spend Christmas here.
We've got our daughter coming home next week as well, so action replay next Monday with the same dog and the same coat.
We haven't been in centre of town for weeks now because of the lockdown situation, so it's lovely.
Yeah.
The decorations are great.
With the station ready for Christmas,
Hi, Naseem, how you doing?
it's time Naseem and Amrit finalise their plans to help the homeless on Christmas Day. In Glasgow's West End, they've arrived at the Sikh Food Bank to discuss the details of the Christmas lunch they'll be holding at the station. Since the COVID crisis began, volunteers here have sent out over 100,000 food parcels and meals.
Sat Shri Akal, Amrit. Hi, Naseem, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. It's so good to see you.
Charandeep is one of the volunteers helping to organise the event.
We're still tweaking the menus. We'll probably be having some traditional cooking that we would usually have within the Sikh centre and the Sikh Gurdwara. What are the numbers looking like, and how much should Sukhchar and Harjinder be preparing for the meals for Christmas Day?
We're inviting up to 75 people with a valid ticket to come through and collect a free meal.
For us, what's really important is that the meal that we're giving out is hot, it's nutritious, and it's freshly made. So there'll be a lot of vegetable curries, there'll be a lot of hearty meals that we'll be giving out, as well as the traditional chapati, which we all love.
How many do you think you'll be making?
But ideally, we'd be hoping to meet 2 to 3 per person, so you're talking about 200, at least 210.
Serving free food, known as langar, is a time-honoured tradition in Sikh Gurdwaras. So the volunteers are unfazed by the task of feeding a mere 75 people.
They will be made fresh on the morning. It'll take us about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Andrew, how does it feel whenever you prepare a meal?
The love that goes into that cooking and going out to the homeless is just an inspiration.
Back at the station, there's a buzz of festive excitement in the air.
Right, ready? Perfect.
As today is the station's Christmas Jumper Day. And with the prize for the best outfit, there's some impressive efforts.
Hello.
Keep Papa. How you doing?
It's just something a bit different for staff, especially this time of year. I think it raises the spirits a bit as well.
As staff eye up the competition, it's ScotRail General Manager Kat and Station Manager Drew's job to decide the winners.
Cover up a wee bit. You're showing your body off.
We gotta get a close-up of that glitter.
Hello? Is there anybody here wearing a Christmas jumper?
The team in the travel shop have outdone themselves this year. Is this the travel shop or Santa's grotto? Which way to the North Pole? Can I actually hear sleigh bells? I realised it was your shoes. Oh, wow. That's taking one for the team. Can't beat these shoes, but that could be the potential winner right there.
Probably. It's a bit of a close call here, to be honest.
Time will tell, with the lucky winner being announced later today. Making the most of everyone's good cheer.
Let's go and raise money.
Arson and Colette want to drum up support for the staff's charity raffle.
Oh, there's Drew, look. Yep, 5 free strips, please, Elf. Thank you. Thank you. Well done.
General Manager. Smashing, thank you very much.
The team's festive energy is paying off, with tickets selling fast.
You want 10 pounds worth? Right, hold on.
We have loads of prizes. All kinds of alcoholic beverages. We have candles, chocolate, sweets, biscuits. Good 50-odd prizes to give away.
Excellent, look forward to that.
We've done very well, I think. Well, we've collected, I think in the office we had about £300, and so far we have about £50.
So I think that's us done.
I think that's us for the day.
Was I a good helper?
You're a very good helper. Absolutely, Santa's very happy. I'll definitely put you on the nice list.
To make their £500 target, that leaves them with a mere £150 to go. And up in the office, Drew and Kat settle down to some serious deliberation.
Imagination, Christmas spirit, bringing it all together. There was a few of them like that.
But a few did catch their eye.
There's baby Jane.
No, I've seen. Oh.
We had Kirsten in the customer info booth. She's just set a really high standard.
That was a funny one.
I did think he didn't have a jumper on. I burst out laughing because I asked who that was in the travel shop. I didn't recognise that it was our own Arson.
They were all brilliant.
They were. And you know, it was nice that everybody made the effort. We just went for 2 prizes, like a runner-up and a winner. But I think they're all winners.
With considerations over,
we were going
yes.
Tell them the good news.
It's time to announce the winners.
Staff announcement. Today, Glasgow Central have been raising funds for MND by having a Christmas jumper competition. Congratulations to Arson and Kirsten for the best dressed Christmas jumper. Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Well done, Christmas.
Thank you.
Today's been good. A lot of fun. We'll go home a wee bit lighter tonight. Kirsten was our other winner. So Kirsten's back on shift tomorrow, so hopefully she'll get a wee surprise when she comes in the morning as well.
It's Tuesday, the 8th of December. And after 3 weeks of level 4 restrictions, General Manager Kat is hoping for some good news.
We're waiting on an announcement today. The First Minister will announce if we're going to move out of the tier that we're in, tier 4. It's a bit of a mixed bag of feelings for us. We certainly want to see a busy station again, but it also has the flip side of that where it's about keeping passengers safe and watching what we're doing.
And a few hours later, the results are in.
I can confirm today that all 11 local authorities currently in level 4 restrictions will move out of level 4 to level 3 from Friday. I can also confirm that...
Obviously, changing tiers from 4 to 3, that's great news. Getting the shops back open again in time for Christmas. So really positive, hoping that the world can move on soon.
It's good news for Central Scotland and for Central Station.
I can imagine us getting increased footfall, people rushing out to the shops to do last-minute Christmas shopping, but also people travelling down south to maybe form bubbles with their family. It's just been so sad to see the station this way, so it will just be so nice to try and get it back to normal and have your days like flying, you'll blink and you'll miss it, instead of now you're kind of like, oh, it's still that time.
Finally, it's the end of level 4 and everyone is embracing a return to the new normal.
It's a great feeling and things to be back in business, and yeah, just it's really nice that we're kind of open in time for Christmas. Good to get out the house as well, so.
It's full of life. Glasgow Central seems to come to life. You see everybody rushing about this, they want to get their Christmas shopping done.
It has definitely been a lot busier today. With the shops reopening, we've had, I would say, probably fivefold the amount of passenger numbers that we have had in the past few weeks. I have been a lot busier, and I've kind of welcomed it in a way because it's given me something to do.
As Paul records his annual festive message.
It's a special announcement. All staff at Glasgow Central Station would like to wish a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all our passengers and customers.
Our key workers make their way home. It's been a lucky day for some.
Pink tickets, Kirsten.
Yay!
Well done, Kirsten.
Pink ticket.
Pink,
It's you. And it's Cat.
Ooh!
Well done.
Well done.
Yay!
Congratulations.
And the charity's a winner too, as they beat their target with an impressive £600 raised. At the end of this extraordinary year,
it's nice to know that Christmas is still here and we're still going to celebrate it.
It's nice just to bring a bit of joy in, a bit of fun.
We are trying our very best to keep the festive cheer going.
There's still some Christmas magic in the air.
Christmas for me is time with the family and just relax and enjoy it. I think this year more so than ever before, it's about going back to basics, and appreciating what you've got.
So all that's left to do is to embrace that holiday spirit.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
I know it's been a difficult year, folks, for all of us, but please and sincerely for the bottom of my heart, have a good time this Christmas, and there's a better year ahead for us all.
Everybody have a fabulous Christmas and a very prosperous and very healthy 2021. Can't get any worse, can it?